Let's pray. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, creator of the universe, maker of heaven and earth. Thank you for letting us live in a nation where we're free to worship, free to speak, and free to assemble. Forgive us that we pervert these freedoms, and God, have mercy on America. And thank you for the men and women of Rotary. You said, to whom much is given, much is required. And God, I just pray that we don't let you down. Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance of the United States of America. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all.
Please join me in the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you, Gary and Scott and Tiffany. Appreciate that very much. I'd like to welcome all the visitors we have here today, especially those from the Hot Springs Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors and well the Metro Partnership Board of Directors for being here. It's always a joy to have you join us, and we really appreciate you being here today. And I'd like to ask Linda Ragsdale. She has a guest today. Linda?
I do. Thank you, Chuck. I'm pleased to have Cheryl Staggs joining us today. Cheryl is the Executive Director of Ouachita Children, Youth, and Family Center. She has been in that role for over a year, but associated with the organization for many years. And she has, I'm pleased to tell you, navigated that organization through many changes and a pandemic and kept kids and families safe in this community. Done a super job. Thanks for joining us, Cheryl.
Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Welcome, Cheryl. I'm glad you're here today. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you.
A few announcements. Thank you all for responding to the committee assignment email that we sent out. We had a really good response, and this Monday we actually worked on those committee assignments. It really helped us out quite a bit, knowing exactly where you prefer to be. As we roll out those assignments, you can certainly, as you see those, you will. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, but we did take care of that business this past Monday. As I said earlier, we do have an installation banquet scheduled for June 22nd. That's a long ways off, but I'm going to tell you early so you can kind of be prepared for it at the Hot Springs Country Club. And we do have a board meeting on April 13th, and it's going to be an in-person board meeting at the Hot Springs Country Club. If you want to attend that meeting, please let me or Donna Kay know so we can make arrangements for that, but it will be our first in-person meeting as a board. And I guess we had an in-person meeting with the first one I had, and then we stopped. So it's the first one since July, I believe. The scholarship award ceremony is for April 29th, and it's for the students and the parents. And it's a drive-in event over at the, I believe it's the Election Commission headquarters over by the Chamber of Commerce. And but we will do a Facebook Live feed of that event if you want to watch it. And we're really proud of the work that the Scholarship Committee has done on this, but that's April 29th, and we'll give out a lot of scholarship money for some very deserving students on that date. Also, just a quick announcement, more to come next week on the details, but we're going to have a social, as you might say, on May 2nd. It's a Sunday at 1 p.m. and we're going to go to a National Park College Nighthawk baseball game. And there'll be more details on that later, but we'll have that for you next week, but we're going to go to a baseball game together. And I look very much forward to seeing all of you there if you can attend. So that's the announcements for today. And now we have introduction of our student guests. I believe Linda.
Yes, I am pleased to welcome back Hayes Horton from Lakeside High School, a senior, for his second visit today. And he is going to tell us a little bit about his his world and his aspirations. Thanks for coming back, Hayes.
Thank you. Very glad to be here. So I'm Hayes Horton, I'm a senior at Lakeside, and I've been working through senior year in the age of COVID, which has been very difficult. A lot of opportunities that I was planning on, taking up on have been canceled. This summer, for example, I was planning on attending Arkansas Boys State and Arkansas Governor's School. I was unable to do those, but I've been trying to seize the opportunities that present themselves while they still do, because even in COVID, there are many things that I've been able to do. I'm very glad that I've been able to do. I've been taking 5 AP classes this year. I've been doing them all online. That's been quite difficult. There's some disparity between online learning and in-school learning, but because I live with my family, I'm seeing my grandma regularly, and I didn't want to risk being at school and catching it and transferring it to them. So I've been working online. It's been difficult, but I've maintained a 4.0 GPA, so it hasn't been terrible. A lot of work, but it is certainly manageable. I was in the marching band this past fall, and I'm in symphonic band right now, and that's been nice. It's provided me with some social opportunities, but it's also safe. It was very difficult figuring out how to do all of that during COVID. And as a band, we had to work very hard to make sure that we were following all the protocols and everything. But it was overall successful. We were able to, not a single person caught COVID through the band. So it worked out okay. I've been trying to use opportunities within band to, advance my career. I became the co-section leader of the drum line within band this past year. So that was it was enjoyable getting to lead the section. I performed in all region and all state these past. Well, we didn't get to perform, but I tried out, and I made the all state and all region bands for jazz band and symphonic band both. I was very glad to have those opportunities. It's disappointing that we didn't get to play in a full band setting, but it's still very nice to be able to try out and make those. Outside of band, I've been trying to seize the opportunities that presented themselves. A lot of things that I normally do have been canceled. Like last year, I was the president of the quiz bowl team, or the student leader of the quiz bowl team, and we weren't able to do anything with that this year just because quiz bowl is such a social competition, and that was unmanageable in COVID. But I've been able to be a part of other organizations within school. I've done some work with the Young Democrats. I have acted as president of the National Honor Society, and that's been an interesting challenge too, because the National Honor Society, it's all about volunteer work and getting people together to work in the community or in the school. Like every year, the National Honor Society puts on a teacher breakfast where they get all the teachers into one small area and they have them meet together. And so we've had to really reshape our program this year to make sure that it's something that's COVID safe. So we've had to cut some things out. We've had to change our schedule a lot, change our activities, but it's been pretty successful. We've been able to change things so that we're still doing meaningful work and contributing to our community without violating COVID protocols. Outside of school, I've been doing what I can. I've served as president of the Youth Advisory Council, led by Brad Burleson. And for those of you who don't know what it is, it's a student run, well, not student run, but it's an organization made up of students, high school students, who get together and they make money, and then they donate it to various local charities. And that one, we've had to do all of our meetings for YAC through Zoom. And that's been difficult because a big part of this process is deliberating amongst each other. But through Zoom, it's been possible to do the work we normally do without too many catches or too many difficulties. I've been working with Young Men of Distinction. I was the co-president of that this year. And that's also an organization that does volunteer work outside of school. And that's also been difficult, but not too difficult because a lot of what we do is like outside organizing. And so, when you're outside, it's not as difficult to maintain COVID protocols. So we've been able to do about as much volunteering as we normally do without losing anything significant from COVID. I've been able to keep playing bass and guitar in my church praise band, which has been very nice. I've also played jazz guitar in my jazz convo. I was very glad to not lose out on that opportunity. We haven't been able to play out in public as much as we used to, but that's okay. It's still nice to be with people. So let me move on to my educational and career aspirations. So I'm planning on going into law and maybe politics. It's very difficult to say so early on what I want to do, but this is my main course of action. And my immediate plan is to go to the University of Chicago, study philosophy and economics. And I've looked into it in these two majors. They generally, they help you greatly with the LSATs, and they give you skills you need to become a lawyer and to, go and score well and become good at what I do. And so I don't want to make any like decisions now, and I really can't because, so early on in my life. But I want my career to be something that makes meaningful contributions to my community. And that's why I've chosen to go into law. That will definitely give me, an opportunity to go into politics if I want to. And I just want to make meaningful contributions with whatever I do.
Thank you, Hayes. I noticed that you had a lot of community service in your presentation there, and that's remarkable. And you also had a lot of obstacles that you decided to overcome, and this hats off to you for that. As a club, that's what we're about to, and just to push through no matter what is going on in the world and still provide that community service. Hats off to you for that. Good job, and you got a bright future, whether it's an attorney or a politician, but I'll vote for you if it's a politician, okay? Welcome to our club. Thank you for being with us. And now it's time for our program introduction by President-elect Tiffany Tucker.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. And I did not realize that the last time we met in person, we had Judge Mahoney speaking to us. So welcome back. I wish it was in person, but glad to have you today. Daryl Mahoney was sworn in on January 1st, 2019 as our Garland County judge. Judge Mahoney is a native of Garland County and has owned multiple businesses in the area. His business experience has been a great asset when making tough decisions that affect the residents of our county. He is still the active president of MALO Properties and BAM Management. He served as Justice of the Peace for District 12 for 10 years and was chairman of the Environmental Services, Public Works and Buildings Committee and Finance Committee. He also serves with me on the Garland County Chamber of Commerce, and I'm sure is on many other organization boards. As a native of Garland County, Judge Mahoney takes pride in the uniqueness of our county, its residents, and its many attractions. So please join me in giving a warm Rotary welcome to Judge Daryl Mahoney.
Thank you very much, Tiffany, for that introduction. I was proud to hear Hayes's words there. It's so refreshing to see young people that are active and want to be a part of our society and want to contribute. It's congratulations, Hayes, on your work and your efforts there. I've got a couple of props that go with my report here this morning. This afternoon, I've got a prop here for my report, and then this also goes along with the report and the job here. So it's those go hand in hand here at the Garland County Judge's Office. I took office in 2019, and in the spring of 2019, we had an unprecedented gas line rupture. 30-inch gas line on the north side of the county ruptured and blew out about an 80-foot section of it and put everybody in danger. We had large evacuations, just something that our county has never seen before. And so we got past that, and I kind of felt like that we were going to have some smooth sailing, and I could get to some of my projects I wanted to do and move forward. And then in the spring of 2020, we moved into a pandemic, and the pandemic has taken precedent over absolutely everything throughout the year. It's affected everyone's life in our county and in our nation. It's regardless of how bad it was, it provided a lot of insight to our weaknesses, our vulnerabilities, and it also gave us an opportunity to work together as a community. And it proved to me that when we pool our resources, that there's nothing we can't do. Through the Chamber of Commerce Metro Partnership, Rotary clubs, everybody we could get a hold of, we pushed on through the pandemic and tried to provide some sort of tourism industry here to support our local businesses, and for the most part, we made it. And it was a group effort. Everybody was involved, and I'm certainly proud to be a part of it. I've got a lot of information here, so when I start seeing everybody's screen go black on here, I'll know that I've talked too long. There's no way you can pull me off with a hook or anything, but you can certainly mute me while we're on these Zoom meetings. But I've kind of got this broken up into divisions of our county government and what they're doing and what we've done over the past year and how we survived the pandemic. But most importantly, I'm going to start off with our partnerships that we have that enhance our economic development in Garland County. Garland County continues to partner with several entities, and there are many ongoing economic development projects. The most recent one that will greatly impact our community's growth and economic development is the interlocal agreement between Garland County and the City of Hot Springs for city and sewer service to be extended into the unincorporated areas of the county. In exchange for this service, the City of Hot Springs will share a portion of Garland County's 1.5% sales tax collections. The lack of water and sewer service in some areas of the county has been a hindrance to development for many years. A boom in residential and commercial development could result, and is resulting, from easy access to water and sewer service. Garland County, the City of Hot Springs, and all the citizens should benefit from this agreement, which goes into effect April 1st, 2021. The details are a little bit boring, but the agreement requires the City of Hot Springs to implement and maintain a policy that provides access to its water and sewer systems in any unincorporated areas that do not lie within an established district or municipality that is identical to what they have within their incorporated area. And in return, Garland County will provide the City of Hot Springs a per capita portion of the net collections of its countywide 1.5% sales tax. The allocation formula creates a baseline of growth from the previous fiscal year. The baseline includes the past 8-year average of 3.6% growth. And that's pretty impressive for an area like ours and some of the downturns that we've seen nationwide, to know that our area has had a collections rate on our sales tax, which is in turn growth in the area of 3.6% over the past 8 years. Pretty impressive. Says a lot for our community. An example of that, if the county grows at 3% from the past year, we won't do any split. But if we grow at 5%, then there'll be a 1.4 split with the City of Hot Springs. It took a lot of work and hours of conversations to get this put together. But when the city manager was appointed, we've known each other for a long time, been friends for a long time, and we agreed that if we couldn't solve it, it couldn't be solved. And so we set our minds to making something come together for water in the county, and it worked out, and we're pretty proud of it. It's already producing a lot of prospects for growth. Garland County has several interlocal agreements with the City of Hot Springs. We share and support operations to provide services to the community, including the District Court, Health Department, Hill Wheatley Park, Veterans Service, Juvenile Crisis Intervention, and Animal Control. The county and city coordinated their efforts in 2018 to provide improved animal control services countywide at reduced costs to the citizens. One of the proactive steps Garland County has taken was to start the Prevent Littering Spay and Neuter Voucher Program. Since its inception of April 16, 2018, the county has distributed 1,199 vouchers and paid over $39,820 to help combat the ongoing problem of pet overpopulation. Another important alliance is with the Hot Springs Metro Partnership to which Garland County contributes $75,000 annually. Metro Partnership provides economic development services and uses funds provided by the county to help fund grants, pay outside contracted consultant fees, and fund retention and expansion with existing Garland County businesses. Metro Partnership was instrumental in pursuing enhanced broadband coverage for the community and is working with our local colleges and schools to increase workforce. Garland County has also partnered with Resort Cable as of August of 2020, I believe, Chuck. We agreed to reach out to try to have broadband expansion in the unincorporated rural areas of Garland County, and we're making leaps and bounds progress there. It's just it seems slow, but I know that it doesn't seem so to Chuck because he's got a lot going on with it. West Central Arkansas Planning and Development District is another essential alliance the county contracts with annually for $15,208. West Central manages 2 Arkansas Community and Economic Development Program grants totaling $306,953 for Mountain Valley Water and Morph Windows to purchase equipment. West Central also manages a boating safety grant from Entergy for $2,500 for fuel for the Marine Patrol and Hazard Mitigation Grant for $35,000 to develop a countywide hazard mitigation plan. If we don't have that hazard mitigation plan in place, it prevents community organizations from being able to apply for FEMA grants and things of that nature. So it's very important that we have that in place. West Central is the grant manager, and the Garland County Finance Department administers the grants. During 2020, Garland County administered more than $3,178,143 in grant expenditures, with 98% being federally funded. Of these grants, the county received $2,354,678 from the Federal Coronavirus Relief Program. Other organizations that Garland County partners with include Garland County Conservation District, the Community Services Office of Hot Springs in Garland County, the Garland County Extension Office, the Garland County Public Defender's Office, and the Garland County Health Department. Each of these organizations provides essential services in our community. Due to COVID-19 in 2020, the county partnered with the Jackson House to provide $30,000 in food and distribution services. The county also partnered with the Community Services Office with an additional $30,000 on top of the $10,354 given each year for rental and utility assistance. The Garland County Fair Board was a new recipient this year of $30,000 in grant and aid funding for 2020. Pandemic closures significantly scaled back the Fair Board's event schedule and created an extreme hardship for their organization. In our transportation, recreation, and quality of life area, one of the places that people continued to go for entertainment during the pandemic was Cedar Glades Park. The park is one of Garland County's hidden gems with 15 miles of premium mountain bike and hiking trails. In 2020, the park received $450,000 donation through the Walton Family Foundation to improve the trails. A jump line and skills area was constructed with these funds and a map kiosk with new signage added. And in the coming months, we plan to construct a pump track to go along with the skills area. The park has a world-class disc golf course, playground, 35-foot climbing wall, 3-story treehouse, radio-controlled flying field, and a car racing track, restroom facilities, an outdoor amphitheater, and 2 pavilions. Cedar Glade Park trails are part of the Northwood Trail System, which opened on November 17, 2018. During the pandemic, the park was able to continue to host some events, holding 3 mountain bike events and several disc golf tournaments. The park is scheduled to host the Scottish Games in 2021. And from what I understand, the Scottish Games are basically like a strongest man contest with medieval equipment. I think it would be kind of fun to go watch, and I might get, if Chuck will participate, I might participate too. But another trail project in design stage is the Southwest Trail, which we've been working on for several years. It's envisioned as a 63-mile biking and hiking trail that will run from Little Rock to Hot Springs through Garland, Pulaski, and Saline counties. We've all partnered together to develop this multi-million-dollar project that, once complete, will generate not only recreational, tourism, and health benefits, but also economic benefits. The counties have applied together for a better utilizing investments to leverage development grant. Its acronym is BUILD grant, and we've applied for 2 of them so far. We have not received either, but we look to apply for another one in May of this year. The Dr. Martin Luther King Expressway Pave It Forward project is more than 50% complete. Really all they lack is the bridges. The base material is there. You can actually drive all the way through there if you have a 4-wheel drive pickup. It has really come together quickly. It was initially estimated to run into 2024, but now it's likely to be finished in 2022. Pave It Forward's $54.6 million bond issue contributed $30 million to this project and also provided an estimated $20 million for use in other areas to improve congested intersections, repair and replace bridges, and other road projects. Garland County has made improvements and completed bridge replacements on Danville Road, Amity Road, Far Shores Road, and the Armand Trail. Additional projects are ongoing on Thornton Ferry, South Harris Road, and Amity Road. We look to bid some of those out in the coming month. As far as our revenue and our stability factors, we survive off of sales and use tax in Garland County. We don't have a millage for our general fund. It's all sales and use, and it works out great until the sales and use tax people tell you when the pandemic starts that you can expect a 35% cut in your revenue. It kind of scared us for a bit there, but we made it through it together, and we came out stronger. Garland County has paid back $32,270,000 towards the bond principal since approval in 2017. We continue to have an A+ standard and Poor's rating. Sales and use tax revenue is the county's primary revenue source, as I said. And the county's current tax rate is 1.5%, which includes 3 components from 3 elections. All of this tax was put in place by election. None of it was just put in as a way to form revenue. Back in 1993, the half-cent sales and use tax was passed through a special election. It passed by 80%, and it goes to the general fund. 17% goes to the solid waste and 3% to the road. And that's our primary source for our general fund. In October 11th of 2011, a special election was held and passed a 3/8-cent sales tax, 0.375, for operations and maintenance of the detention facilities in Garland County. In June 28, 2016, a special election was passed for the capital improvement bond sales and use tax for the 5/8 cent or 0.625% for Pave It Forward program, which built the extension of the bypass. The county received more than $13.5 million in sales and use tax revenues for 2020, and more than $13.4 million had been received directly by the trustee of the road bond. This number grew by 8.88% compared to 2019. You're probably asking how that's possible for Garland County to continue to have revenue growth being in tourism location with so many people staying home. There were a few things that went into that other than our push through our community to continue to have restaurants and tourism attractions try to do some form of business. And that was some legislation that was passed in 2019. We had several new forms. One of them was the internet sales tax revenue. I think during the pandemic, when people stayed home and shopped online, it was very beneficial to both the city and the county to have that in place. And when the medical marijuana dispensaries opened up here, they also provided some new revenue for us. The Oaklawn casino tax revenue. The Arkansas voters passed the Arkansas Casino Gaming Amendment of 2018 that became effective July 1st of 2019, licensing casino gaming at Oaklawn. The new tax structure included a significant increase in the tax revenue received by both the city of Hot Springs and Garland County. The county now receives 8% of the tax distribution on net casino gaming receipts, comparing to the county's revenue received from Oaklawn before the amendment and after amendment, but before COVID-19 shows a monthly average increase of more than 43%. Commercial mobile radio service board fees. It's called CMRS fees. Chuck's clapping about that. That's something to fund our 911 center. Implemented in 2020, Act 660 of 2019 resulted in additional revenue collections on wireless and prepaid phones. Before the new legislation, the county general fund was funding a large portion of the 911 communication budget. The legislation doubled the cell phone monthly charge from 65 cents to $1.30 per month, and prepaid wireless cards went from 65 cents to 10% of the purchase value. Garland County's fees increased from approximately $600,000 in 2019 to $1.5 million in 2020. Stabilization and purchasing policies and emergency measures. The county adopted a purchasing and contracts policy manual in 2020 and set aside $1 million for emergency situations through a stabilization policy. Not knowing how bad or how long the effects of the pandemic would be, we tried to plan ahead. On March 16, 2020, I executed an executive order declaring an emergency. On March 19th, I enacted a hiring freeze and froze all capital and non-capital expenditure purchases. The county moved to rotate employees in most offices to lower the chance of infection. We required anyone entering the county buildings to wear a mask and have their temperature checked. We installed sanitizing stations and posted notices around the county buildings regarding social distancing and hygiene. The county treasurer, tax collector, and county clerk moved their employee salaries to their automation funds. These budget strategies moved over $514,000 from the general fund to the automation funds, and we reduced the 2020 capital asset budget by over $795,000. I'm proud to say that Garland County never closed its services or laid off any employees during the pandemic. Services and accomplishments. Our solid waste department. We have several improvements to our landfill. The first thing we did, we purchased a new compactor, which reduced the airspace by 30% and extended the landfill life. The more tons placed in a smaller area means more space and more money available. We then purchased some Vision software, which in September of 2018 was the first time it was used here. It's made a tremendous improvement in our daily operations and our financial savings. The county hired Rotary Pacific to do a trash cart audit and added barcodes to nearly 21,900 trash carts. With this software, our field technicians can scan the carts to their tablet, determine when a cart is out of place, and this has helped us locate missing carts or locate carts that are not registered. Prior to this, we had no comprehensive method to track our entire cart inventory. We relied on the numbers we were being charged by our haulers and billing of our customers. We had discrepancies between the two of approximately 2,600 carts, and the number was in favor of the hauler, not the billing. Having an accurate count in conjunction with a new contract price, the county saved $447,533 in 2020 compared to 2019 on hauling costs. Approximately 2 years ago, we put the soft pack program in place to streamline the scale house and truck drivers. This technology helps us move customers through the scale house and provides our front load and roll off truck drivers with electronic routing maps. These enhancements have a cost saving on burning less fuel, fewer man hours, and reducing the cost of building a new cell. Our environmental inspections division operates out of our solid waste department. Its primary purpose is to protect our community's environmental health by creating a clean and safe place to live, work, and visit. This department had an increase in their workflow with a 39% increase in new construction sites in 2020. Of these sites, the majority were residential. More than 50 new locations have already been permitted in 2021. For the first time in many years, some large subdivisions are the pre-planning stage in our county. The numbers show that the pandemic did not stop or hinder growth in Garland County. This department also enforces our environmental regulations governing nuisance property, illegal burning, and dumping issues. This office receives on average 250 complaints each year. With the pandemic, Garland County could not participate in several of the annual events we usually have, such as Trash Bash and Spring Fling, Trash for Cash, and Hazardous Dump Day. We will have those this year. We've got a Spring Fling coming up on April 24th. And we've got a hazardous waste dump day on May 15th coming up in the near future. So we are going to have those this year, and I'm sure the community needs them. County Road Department. Our road department has an excellent team that is charged with maintaining more than 750 miles of county roads. During our recent record snowstorm, our road employees were on the job every day, removing fallen trees and debris to help keep our community safe. This is nothing unusual for these guys. They're dedicated and willing to work, even when it requires them to go out late at night to ensure that we all have safe roads to travel on the following day. On our normal schedule in 2020, we graded more than 391 roads, patched 532 locations, ditched and cleaned out 581 culverts, assisted and installed 116 new culverts, cut brush on 349 roads, hot mixed 16 miles of roads, mowed more than 457 miles of ditches. This department engineered and rebuilt Tina Heron Bridge, put 4 new 60-inch by 50-foot culverts in on Winkler Road, adjoining the property that the city has a waste station, a solid waste state, or a sewer treatment plant on, and assisted in paving 5 miles on Beauty Circle through our state aid program. Our Department of Emergency Management was one of our biggest, most busy departments during the pandemic. Bo Robertson, who heads that department up, was instrumental in putting together several events and helping us form our task force early on in the pandemic. The Department of Emergency Management of Garland County is one of the most professional and organized departments in our county. Before the pandemic, we had opened our new 911 communications center over the past year. Emergency and administrative calls increased by more than 20%. There were numerous changes to procedures when taking a call. Dispatchers had to not only ask the nature of the call, but also the health status of the person needing assistance. It is their job to assist the citizen and protect the first responders being dispatched, including 9 Garland County Volunteer Fire Departments districts. The total number of agencies and center interacts with and maintains information for is now 19, compared to only 4 in 2017. The AWIN system and the automatic vehicle location AVL system that all Garland County vehicles have in them are both significant enhancements to our officer safety. Another revised and modernized system that plays a vital role in keeping our community safe is the geographic information system and our upgraded addressing procedures. The addressing process was revised to ensure new construction process and significant changes comply with regulation regarding floodplain, solid waste, and environmental inspections. During the pandemic, DEM helped set up shower trailers and provide COVID-19 testing for more than 80 homeless people in our community. They stored and distributed personal protection equipment to 14 hospitals, and the county purchased and distributed PPE to local fire departments, our sheriff's office, detention center, and the Hot Springs Police Department. Once the vaccine was available, DEM coordinated vaccination events at the fairgrounds where more than 5,000 shots were given. The City of Hot Springs, Garland County, and private parties worked these events in collaboration. Our sheriff's office and detention facility, Garland County Detention Center opened the final housing unit in March of 2020. To defray the cost, we reduced the staff and budget at the juvenile detention center by decreasing juvenile acceptances from other counties. In November 2020, our adult detention center received the first Arkansas accreditation from the National American Correctional Association. The accreditation standards require performance and preparedness in safeguarding the life, health, and safety of the staff and inmates. You must establish clear goals and objectives critical to constitutional and humane facility programs and services. You know, our detention center not only established accreditation for the center, but we have the most accredited officers of anywhere in the United States in that facility. And that's something we can all be proud of. We also offer veteran services here. Our Veteran Services Office is the office of veterans rely on for services on a typical day, but during 2020, it was a vital resource for them. We kept the doors open, and the Veteran Service Officer, Stanley B., also adopted other methods to continue serving the many veterans in Garland County. Even with the challenges of 2020, Stanley received 1,331 calls, made 24 home and hospital visits, and filed 379 claims for compensation, pensions, surviving spouse pensions, and dependent compensation. He has his work cut out for him. He's one of the few people that are in the veteran services that actually have a heart for veterans. He's a veteran himself, and he goes way above and beyond to serve our veterans. And we have over 10,000 veterans living in Garland County. Looking to the future, as always, we have several building projects ongoing or in the planning stages. We finished the new roof and mold remediation on the National Guard Armory building on Woodbine Avenue. And currently we are in design stage for renovations to create a large meeting area and move the extension office to. The building and property at 415A Washington Avenue was purchased to house the Garland County Public Defender's Office. Our maintenance department has cleaned the building and made a few minor renovations. This purchase saved the county on future rental expenses. For the past 26 years, Garland County has rented the space that the Public Defender's Office is in at about $26,000 a year. So this purchase will save us a lot of money in the future. We've had several grants for building projects underway. The FEMA Hazard Mitigation Grant to build a safe room was awarded $562,551, with the county share being around $130,000. The safe room will be built on the property next to the Sheriff's Office building and will double as an EOC, or an Emergency Operations Center. The county has applied for Arkansas Historic Preservation Program grant, and if awarded, it will be used for the second phase of the courthouse renovation. The courthouse terracotta tiles surrounding the upper facade have cracked over time, allowing water intrusion. Other grants we are applying for include a hazard mitigation plan grant to upgrade the 2021 plan. FEMA requires this plan to apply for additional grants. We were awarded a $35,000 grant with $8,750 being the county's match. West Central Arkansas Planning and Development District has applied for a $200,000 rental and utility assistance to be distributed through the United Way. The grant is still pending. Going through a pandemic has been an eye-opening experience. It has displayed the collaboration between our city and our county, as well as our extraordinary efforts of all of our elected officials. We have adapted to this new normal life with virtual meetings, social distancing, and face masks, while continuing to conduct business for the citizens of Garland County. These officials have continued to provide tax collections, property assessments, elections, circuit court, district court, public safety, investments, prosecution, and death investigations under these circumstances. With 2020 in the rearview mirror, we're confident we can handle whatever 2021 throws at us. Thank you all for listening to me.
Thank you, Judge Mahoney. With all the report that you gave us, you can see that the administration of the county is a big task, and you certainly have a very strong team, but your leadership and work ethic, you're a hard worker. I know that personally. That I'm glad you're here with us. It's been a very solid year for us in Garland County, as well as the city of Hot Springs, and just appreciate all that the county's done. And I'd also like to mention that the county jail, I think that they went a long time without even having a COVID.
10 months. They went 10 months without a case out there.
And that was remarkable. I emailed the administrator over there and just told him how proud I was of that case. So that just shows strong leadership, strong administration skills. Just congratulations, and never stop serving the citizens of Garland County. So thank you so much for giving us that report. It was very interesting. I got a lot out of that.
Thank you, Chuck.
Well, as we progress through our meeting here toward the end, I again want to thank the Garland County Chamber of Commerce Board for being with us, as well as Metro Partnership Board Directors, Hayes and Cheryl. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it very much for visiting with us today. Remember to complete your survey that you'll get this afternoon. And we do have a board meeting April 13th at the Hot Springs Country Club. If you want to come, let me know, or let Donna Kay know. And then, of course, we have the Scholarship Award Ceremony on April 29th, and you can see that Facebook Live. So again, thank you for attending today. I appreciate it very much. And as we wrap up the March and enter April, let's remember that March winds and April showers bring both forth May flowers. Okay, so the future's looking bright, and we've got an exciting spring ahead of us. Till next week, thank you for sharing your lunch hour on a Wednesday with people who greatly care about you. I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday via Zoom, as we have a guest speaker from the Department of State, and she's going to talk to us about the United States and Russian relations. That should be very interesting. So please attend next Wednesday. Thank you all for being here. We are adjourned.
Nice job, Judge Mahoney and Chuck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
I'm looking forward to those trails being built.
I bet you are.